episode.
Just get it right. Just get it right.
50.
I know you're full of it.
61 of the ZeroHP cast. This I'm Ian. This what have you been playing, man? How was that? Is that bad? I've been working. I didn't.
My god.
It's Friday, and
Nope.
I don't know what's real anymore, man. I don't know what to do. I watched Infinity War. I don't know. I have doubts.
Yeah.
I have doubts about life now. No, episode 58, ZeroHP Podcast. Welcome back. I'm Mason, as always, joined by Ian.
Yo.
Hello. What's up, man?
Dude, it's Sunday again.
I don't
Is
like
this becoming our official day?
It is my fault. I got a kitten.
I heard about this.
Let me break it down.
I heard about this.
Let me break it down for you. There is an individual that I work with who had a situation where a bunch of kittens came into her life, her homestead, if you will.
Sure.
And she needed to get rid of them. She bumped into me in the hallway, like literally, when you come around the corner sharp, and bam! And I was like, "Oh no, I'm sorry." And she's like, "Hey, you want a kitten?" And I was like, "That's weird. You could have just said, excuse me. No big deal." But
yeah, usually when I run into someone, I feel like the best way to really earn their apologies is like, "I got a cat."
It wasn't up for sale, but you can have it. It's kind of some kind of yeah. Her and I had been friendly before, and we've worked together since I've been there for like 4 or 5 years. She's a really cool person. And then she let me know that she had 2 8-week-old male black kittens that she was trying to get rid of, and turns out my relationship anniversary is coming up here in a weekend or 2, I think, maybe. And the significant other is always jabbering on about how much she'd like a cat in her life, and I'm not going to give her a kid, so I might as well. So she's
already got one of those. So
yeah, she's already got one of those. So one is enough, and I figured I would oblige, and took her up on it. And little dude's awesome. We haven't named him yet. Cannot come up with a name for the life of me. It's like the hardest decision I've ever had to make.
Okay.
We ran by.
You're not pulling from like a fiction.
That's what we're trying to do.
Okay.
There's too many fictions I like now, thanks to you. And she has her own fictions that she likes. She has like anime names, and I was like, I don't know what any of those are.
Yeah.
And we've got a bunch of options out there. If you're listening to this and you have any good suggestions, leave a comment.
Yeah.
Chances are, by the time you hear it, I still won't have a name.
It's like you could just be like John Wick,
dude,
and the dog's name is just Dog.
Hear me out. Dog.
Does it have a name?
No, didn't name him after the other one.
Good dog.
I thought you meant name the cat John Wick.
No.
And I was like, I would do that.
Little John Wick.
Let me tell you.
It's a female, right?
No, it's a male.
Oh,
it's a male.
Okay.
It's a male. Yeah. I had.
But just like look like that's the cat. Oh, what's her name? Cat.
That is the cat.
The cat. Kitty cat.
I'm human.
When I'm feeling good, I call when I'm happy.
Yep.
I call it Kitty.
Kitty. And when I'm not, it's
and sometimes I get really weird with my like nicknames for my animals because I'll call them one thing and then that leads into more things that if I just said out of context would make 0 sense.
What?
Like sometimes I call my cat a crispy wafer, and that makes no sense out of context.
I don't even know your cat's name.
Missy.
Oh, okay.
Missy is the cat's name. I call her a crispy wafer.
Okay.
Sometimes I call her a chocolate crispy wafer because she's a kitty, and sometimes I call her a Kit Kat.
Oh my god, dude!
So I'm like,
that is deep. That's a reach, man.
So, but it's like those things that just like evolves over time. I'm like, you little. I'll see her. I'm like, you little Kit Kat, you little crispy wafer. You know what I mean?
That's like cats have fur. Fur goes on the ground. I'm gonna call you hardwood, and everyone's like, "What?" And you just have some like deep reach meaning. No, I gave a few suggestions for the name that were all shot down immediately. I came up with Doc. Got shot down. I came up with Malone for my boy Post Malone. Got shot down immediately. These were all jokes, obviously, kind of, except for Doc, not really a joke. Then we kind of went into
Wash.
Wash is a great name, and I was just gonna say we went into Firefly. I thought about Mal.
Yeah,
Mal would have been a really cool name. Wash was another one. Jane, I even considered, but I was like, people won't really get it.
They won't. Yeah, they'll think it's like
they're like, what? That's not how that works. That's funny you bring that. I really did think about that. We went into Guardians of the Galaxy because we just saw Infinity War.
Right.
I thought about
Quill.
I thought Rocket. I thought Quill. I thought Groot. I was gonna go with Groot. She actually is considering Groot because she's such a big Groot fan.
Yeah, that's good.
Except with the exception of Teenage Groot because he's a douche.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of names, a lot of good names.
That was a good choice for them to go with Teenage who doesn't want to talk. There's already so many characters with so many lines.
That's true. That's a good
We
point.
just don't need to have a distracting little mini group.
Have Vin Diesel in there doing work,
or that too,
with extremely hard voiceover work that he got paid millions of dollars for.
Right.
But whatever. But no, there's a lot of good names, man. A lot of good names for a male cat.
Mm-hmm.
I like Mal a lot. I like that.
Little Garrus.
Garrus. Throwback. That's good. I don't know. Rex. I thought about
Joel.
Joel was one I thought of immediately, of course, because that's all I ever think about. But I was like,
little Kratos.
Kratos.
Little Atreus.
Oh my god, Kratos would be dope. I want him to be like a little killer too. So Kratos might be the move. I'm just gonna not tell. I'm not gonna tell.
You can just call him Kratos.
Yeah.
Even if you name him something different. Even if you name him, even if you're like, yeah, sure, it can be this anime name. But I'm
Bob.
gonna call him Kratos.
I'm gonna call him Kratos.
I mean, I call my dog
Kit Kat.
stuff. Yeah, Kit
Kat. No, man, I'm pretty excited about it.
That's awesome.
Want to jump into what we've been playing?
Yeah, man. What's going on?
Where are we in life?
It's Sunday again.
I know, dude.
This has just become our podcast day.
I don't like it though. I don't like it
as much.
I can't believe the weekend's already over.
No, it's because we didn't do our podcast on Friday, bro.
That's why it's over.
Yeah.
If we had done the podcast, today would be at least Saturday afternoon for sure.
Right.
Because that's how time works. What have I been playing, man? I don't remember. PUBG, of course.
New map, right?
Yeah, we can talk about
I saw that.
We can talk about the experimental update if you'd like.
Okay.
So yeah, the new map. I did play a little more Fortnite. I like to dive in every now and then. With Thanos. I didn't get to play as him, but I did play in the mode, which is pretty cool.
That was on Xbox?
Yeah.
Cool.
I played with my brother again.
Awesome.
Nothing else that I can think of. I felt like there was another.
No BioShock this week.
No BioShock that you would have known. You would have hopefully. No, nothing this week. That's it, man. Another real Mason week on my end.
Yep.
If you will. What about you?
So hold up. So tell me how you like this new map in PUBG.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So the map name, forgive me if I mispronounce it or get it wrong entirely. I think it's Sanhok.
Okay.
Sanhok, which is some kind of Thai translation to.
Okay, so it's supposed to be like southeastern. Pacific.
100%.
Okay.
And it translates roughly into chicken fun.
Really?
Yeah, that's not a lie. Obviously,
maybe they were trying to go for the translation for chicken dinner.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Well, but that's the thing. Like sometimes there just isn't a direct.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. So yeah, I believe it roughly translates into chicken fun, which is cool. Whatever. I wish they would have kept the name as Savage because I like that. I don't know why. I feel like it's.
But they always go with like names.
Yeah, I have Miramar and Erangel, but Erangel is his daughter.
You know
what I mean?
That's a weird name.
You don't have to stick with
No, you don't have to.
But either way, very cool. It to jump into the map, as far as like design goes, it's not really anything special. They haven't really changed much. One thing I noticed was as far as like ranged battles go, which is obviously the biggest part if you played Miramar, which not a lot of people liked, and that might be part of the reason. A lot of winning that map is having an 8-time scope,
right.
with a powerful rifle on it.
Mm-hmm.
This map, it almost doesn't matter if you have anything over a 4-time because it's so hilly. No matter how far you are, there's probably a hill in your way. And, if you can see someone, you're within range of a 4-time.
And there's more like thick foliage and stuff too, right?
So many trees and so much foliage and these crazy like rice paddy areas that you can go through. So that was kind of interesting to me.
Lots of racist jokes.
A lot of racist jokes. If Kevin's there, for sure, it's okay though because he's from there. A lot of terrible racist jokes are being thrown around. Not by me, of course, because I am a Caucasian white man. I didn't need to say Caucasian and white, but I did.
Yeah.
Some people don't know. You know what I mean? But no, the map is great. I played it for 7.5 hours yesterday, starting at 6 in the morning. And,
that same map?
That map. Only that map. Here's why. Because it's not fully released yet.
Okay.
And
PTS?
No. kind of ish in a
beta?
way, sort of, kind of. Let me try to break down some PUBG mentality for Blue Ball Studios. So you have the PUBG live server, right? Which when you buy the game, it's what you have. And then when you buy the game, you get a PUBG test server, which is what they usually do the new maps on. And now they have an experimental server, which I'm not sure why that's different from the test server. I've never experienced that in a game. So now I have 3 different PUBGs in my Steam library.
Dude, this reminds me of like when I remember, I think it was last week when I told you about how Total War is like segmenting their releases.
Yeah.
Very similar sounding. Sort of like mental gymnastics.
Yeah. They're trying to reach all audience, I guess. I don't know. But so it's on the experimental server, whatever that is. And I haven't known.
The ES?
Yeah, the ES, bro.
It's on the ES.
Are you on the? Do you download
the ES server?
You download the ES?
Wait, you wouldn't call it the ES server because that would mean experimental server.
Nope, just ES, bro.
Experimental server?
ES, bro. So now to even own PUBG, it takes like 45 gigabytes of memory to have all 3. I
think I have it set to auto update. I probably have all of this stuff.
Yeah. I did as well. So yeah, I don't know what the difference is, but just in case you want to know how to access it, that is the way. Although it might not even be available anymore by the time you're hearing this. I think it was just over this weekend.
When it comes out, I might like hop back in and play for a while with you guys.
It is. It's a lot of fun, man. The pacing of the game is amazing. With all honesty, it is by far my favorite map, and I feel like I'm gonna have a really hard time going back. Because it always bothered me before that a game to win takes 45 minutes.
Yeah.
In the other maps, in this map it takes 21 and a half. And I only know that because I won one.
Yeah.
And I just took the time. I mean, obviously, give or take a few minutes. But, so full game is 20 minutes.
Any idea on a map selection? Which is something that came out in Halo 2, 2004 or whatever it was.
What are you alluding to, sir? Brendan, if you're listening.
Blows me away.
If you're listening, don't be offended. No, map selection's here.
It is?
Yeah, it's here. It's live between Erangel and Miramar.
Sweet.
You can do that. That is the thing.
So I wonder if their heat mapping shows that Miramar just basically doesn't get picked.
Oh man, let me tell you, that map
do you know?
is. I don't know. Well, I know,
I would
but
love
I don't know.
I would love to see that.
You never will.
Information.
You never will. But I guarantee you're right. Miramar, R.I.P. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I don't know if they'll even have.
Is there any group of fans that like it? Like just like a weird.
Yeah,
there's always
there has to be. Yeah, people.
There's always people with bad opinions out there.
Yeah. They're not bad. There's no such thing as a bad opinion.
There's a couple.
You're right. And Miramar's one of them. It's terrible. It's garbage. Don't like it.
Some people like the band Volbeat. Like, I'm sorry, you're just not right.
Volbeat is a very close comparison to Miramar, actually. I feel like it has kind of a strange following.
Like, look, I'm sorry, like, this is not good.
You have to come at it with, like, a weird approach to appreciate it. Even if you don't really, you have to kind of, I understand completely what you mean. Shout out to Volbeat if you're listening.
Well, like, on the other hand, like, something like Lady Gaga, not my shit, but she's very talented. But she writes all of her own stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
She plays multiple instruments.
Whereas Volbeat is kind of a glorified cover band in a way.
They've written the same song on multiple albums for years, but it works. It sells.
Shout out to A Warrior's Call.
All I know is it probably has "Hey in it at some point.
No comment. Back to PUBG.
Sorry, I totally
You're good. So the pacing of the game is completely different. The phases of the blue are much, much shorter, which is another thing I really appreciate. And I'm talking when you're in the last 3 or 4 phases of the blue, you have 45 seconds to move. Wow. Whereas in the other maps, it's like 4 minutes.
Get your ass going.
So you have to get going. Yeah. The loot spawning is increased by what seems like 400%. There's loot everywhere. Now that ARs are no longer kind of a hot commodity, they just kind of give them to you like hard candies. They're everywhere because people don't really like them anymore. At least people who play it enough. SMGs are kind of your go-to, which we talked about when the last update went live. But yeah, there's loot everywhere. There's meds everywhere. They really made it obvious that they're trying to just cause engagement everywhere kind of thing.
Yeah, they want it faster, more intensity.
Yeah, much like another game that rhymes with Fortnite. And it's working really well.
You should have picked a word you should have said a word that rhymes with Portnight or something.
Oh, is that not how?
Because Fortnite doesn't rhyme with
Is
itself.
that not rhyme?
Yeah.
How the...
I got you. Keep going.
I'm Ian, and this is episode...
My name is Ian, and I'm basically here to just derail Mason from talking about the new map. Whether it's Volbeat or telling him rhyming.
Right as things become clear, you just slap me in the face, and you're like, get out of here.
Welcome to Sunday Podcasting, motherfucker.
This is the Sunday Cast, episode 1. No, I love the new map. You know, I played with Kevin. He seemed to enjoy it as well. I played with Taylor. He seemed to enjoy it as well.
Cool.
I think people are really liking it. I think that pacing is going to be what we see from PUBG moving forward, hopefully. There was something I read that may not be completely accurate, but talking about how they plan to make bigger maps, which is probably the worst thing you could do, unless you're going to add 100 more players, which would just make the game run terrible.
Yeah.
And you might get 28 frames per second. RIP Xbox players. Sorry. Shout out to you. They're already in the struggle as it is, man.
Yeah, it is.
They're fighting in the pits right now. They're in the front line getting murdered right now. So good for them. But no, that's really it as far as the update goes. You know, the loot spawning, the map size, the pacing of the game. It's all really good. A lot of good updates. There's very few vehicles in the map, which is something I noticed right away, but you almost never
need them, and the hills would make it.
You almost never need them.
Seems like you might put some dirt bikes or something.
Yeah, new vehicle, that'd be crazy. Too much to ask, though. But now that you mentioned that, driving is terribly difficult on that map.
Yeah,
because it's so hilly.
Hey, are there roads or like one or two?
There are
roads?
a couple of main roads.
Death sentence now.
But, it's just, and there's bridges, which much like in any map, are just asking to get murdered.
Yeah.
As people do enjoy to camp bridges. Driving's terrible. There's so many trees and hills. So very few vehicles. You almost never need them.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you need them.
In 8 hours of playing it, we needed one once, I think, maybe, or we were doing it for fun. It's kind of interesting. No matter where you land, like whereas when you have Erangel, right, and you hear about school, you want a hot drop, you go school, and everyone's going school. The thing about this map is like everyone goes everywhere.
Yeah,
because it's not
same amount of people.
Right. Yeah. So there's people everywhere you go. You're almost always in the white because it's like 75% of the map, which is kind of cool.
That's very cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Unless you just get really unlucky and you pick the one area.
Yeah, you might as well just exit the game and go back in at that point. All in all, I really enjoyed it. I think it's all for the better. Okay. And I just want more. I want more maps, man. Get rid of Miramar. Just throw it away. Give me a snow map that I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
And we'll be good to go.
I like that idea.
Be good to go. Yeah.
Now, snow map, would that be bigger or should you keep the small?
I mean, if you're asking me, I keep the small, so we have two big.
What if they went, because the one is 8x8, what if they went like 6x6 in the middle? Would that be a noticeable difference or more too close to being basically 8x8?
I think it would be noticeable. I think if you do that, you keep the new pacing of the blue.
Okay.
To keep people moving, keep the loot spawns. Because the problem with the blue pacing before was that the loot was nowhere. So it's like, if you have to move, you don't get any loot.
Right.
So keep the loot everywhere. Keep the short blue. And if you want to make the map bigger, that's great. Maybe to keep people's landings a little bit more even, for lack of a better word, so they're not getting engaged right away. That might be a good compromise, actually, to kind of meet in the middle. But I think you go small again, so you have too big, too small. Everyone kind of gets whatever they want. Right. You know what I mean? There's plenty of players out there to cover every map. So
cool.
Yeah, I like it, man.
Yeah, man. I'm curious to see how it gets accepted or by the community, the larger community once it's completely out.
Yeah.
Is there a release date for it or? Not
that I know of. I think they're really just kind of like, hey, try it out and we'll see if it breaks everything, and then if it doesn't, we'll give it to you, because it's horribly optimized. It's very buggy. You might cap at like 50 frames per second or something.
Oh no!
It still drops to 10 in the loading screen for whatever reason. No one knows. It's so weird. This game has problems I've never heard of in any other game. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what they're doing, but I love it. As you know, I love it. If you've ever heard me talk ever, you know I love it.
We basically have a weekly update on the podcast.
It's basically PUBG Cast.
Which is what it should be.
Episode.
I mean, we have a lot of listeners who play the games.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah, I just need them to optimize it. I want them to optimize it. I wish if you had a game like PUBG that ran like a game like Counter-Strike, the world would explode. People would love it, and you'd just literally rake in the cash. And I don't know. I'm not a developer, so I'm just a guy.
You're not a Korean developer.
I'm not a Korean developer or an Irish guy who got paid a lot by Korean developers.
To just be like, just
hey,
have them drop all
just
over.
make sure you put my name in the thing. Don't change the name. That's my name.
That was such a weird situation. How he got
it really is. Yeah. If you ever want to hear more about it, go listen to his episode on the H3 podcast, where they interviewed him about how the development of the game kind of came about and his history in modding, which he's been doing forever, and how he linked up with Blue whatever studios.
NoClip covers that too.
Yeah. Okay.
Danny
cool.
O'Dwyer.
Cool.
That documentary.
I have not watched that yet.
I thought you did.
Did I watch that? Well, no, there was one I didn't watch. I watched Doom. That was forever ago. I
The
watched
Warframe
PUBG.
one.
I didn't watch Warframe.
Oh,
I'm
that's
sorry.
really
I did watch
good.
PUBG. PUBG
that
was
one's
great.
awesome. Did you watch the Witcher one?
That was a while ago, right?
Yeah, it's like 4 parts. Excellent.
When did that come out? Wasn't that one of his
5 months ago?
first 5 months ago? I might not have watched it.
Amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Amazing.
I love Daniel Dwyer and everything he does, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go watch it.
That channel's awesome.
Awesome.
No clip. Go check it out.
Go check him out.
What
What about you, man? What have you been playing?
the fuck?
So the monitor.
So Mason goes, what about you, man? What have you been playing? And the monitor prophecy's like, well, boom, how about you take this beautiful Elder Scrolls Online wallpaper of Queen Irene, which is exactly the quest line I'm doing.
Oh,
Not only is it Elder Scrolls Online, but I'm also playing my High Elf, which is doing the quest line with Queen Irene right now.
The monitor knows.
I've been playing a lot of ESO in preparation for next week. May 21st, we get our Somerset chapter. Because PC bros get it early.
PC bros.
PCs get it early. So I have a camera in my house that picks up motion. So I'm going to be at work just waiting for all motion alerts. Checking it all the time. See if I can get off a little early. Not even just to be lazy and go play, but just to get it out of the sun, out of the heat, and out of grabby hands way. If
grabby.
Wants to try and grab it. So
no one would ever do that.
So that's next Monday. So I've been trying to just play as much as possible. It's kind of the main thing I'm playing. A little bit of Total War.
Okay.
It's just like ESO is just like this. It's like the waves of the ocean. Like there's a tide. When the tide comes up, like I'm playing ESO like crazy, and then some other things come up, and it's okay. It's like no problem. I'll pick it up later. It's so easy for me to just pick it up, drop it, pick it up, drop it, pick it up, drop it. So like I never really get tired of it. Yeah. Because I don't let myself get tired of it. You know, if I even feel an inkling of like not wanting to do it, I'm like,
you back off.
Won't.
Yeah,
I've got plenty of other things to do. You know?
Yeah, you don't want to overdo it and risk getting burned out or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's been a cool experience because that podcast that I listened to created their own guild, Lore Seekers Guild. Yeah. It's been growing. Really? Oh my god, exponentially.
Is it just like full of? Do you have like a Discord you can?
There is a Discord. Okay, cool. Yep, it's got a Discord, and it's got so many people in the Discord. It's crazy, and it's got so many different channels going, different kinds of like. It's got a general chat, a lore discussion chat, which I'm involved in, like all of these, add-ons for the game.
Oh,
people
nice.
talking to me here. I've been trying to like be super active. As active as I can possibly be. And they're doing their first event next Saturday. First guild event that goes from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's drop in, drop out.
Okay.
So you don't have to play.
I was like, that is quite the commitment.
But they made it to where you have to RSVP for it.
Okay.
So around the world, around the game world, all of Tamriel, if you're running around, I know you've only played a little bit, but you may have seen it once in your limited time when you played. Mm-hmm. There's a thing on the map that's a skull and crossbones, which are called world bosses. So they're not like quests or anything, but they're just like particularly powerful creatures in the world that don't leave their little area.
Oh, okay.
They're like little mini boss fights that drop like a bunch of XP and gear for you. And they're really tough to take on. Generally, you need a team. So the name of this guild-wide event is called the Wild Hunt.
Yeah.
Which is actually from the Bosmer. You'd think of Witcher.
Oh, yeah, I did.
But it's actually from like Elder Scrolls lore as well. It's kind of both.
Oh, gotcha.
It's kind of both.
Gotcha.
It's like a winking kind of thing.
Okay.
Called the Wild Hunt. But basically, so far, like 20 people have RSVP'd. And
how many is there a cap? Or?
No, because it's not in like a dungeon, which has a cap. You run a dungeon in a team of 4 people. Mm. Or you run a trial with a specific amount of people as well. But this is in the open world.
Okay.
So as long as you're on the same server, which we will be because we're in a guild.
Right.
We're all in the same guild. You just pick a meeting place. And we all have tabards, like a uniform that's on the guild. So all of us are going to be just this huge group of people are just going to be roaming across in multiple teams around Tamriel, hunting these world bosses.
Oh my! That is gonna be. I want footage of that. Like
I will record.
Okay, cool. I'll
ask them. Actually, I'll ask them if that's cool if I do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be fine with it. So, one of the guys is a streamer. So
okay, cool.
I'm sure he'll be streaming it as
well.
well.
Dude, that is gonna be.
So we're all gonna be in uniform,
Oh my
which is
god!
like this like yellow
an
tunic,
army of people.
and just an army of people
Oh
just
my
destroying these monsters
That's
in
crazy.
teams just all across the. And you can the thing is drop in, drop out. So I'm like, all right, I gotta go eat. Come back later. You're like, all right, where are you guys at? Oh, we're in Hammerfell. Cool.
Just this traveling.
Yeah.
Just
this big traveling group of
So
people.
I'm curious if you do the monsters like scale to your
That's
party size. Or your
Great
guild?
question. I don't know.
Okay.
I would assume they don't because they're in the open world. I know like obviously with dungeons they would because it knows how many people you have, but they are splitting it up, so it won't be like 50 people.
Oh man.
But it's gonna be probably like 10 to 15, which is a ton in that game.
That's awesome.
And if you're like a single player, you're just like just running around on the street.
Right.
Like 15 guys come running by, just destroying these world bosses. So I'm really looking forward to it. It should be a ton of fun, and you know, it's just kind of a social thing. And it's been cool, man. I've been meeting a bunch of people. I found some people who are from Washington.
Oh no way!
So I've been talking to them about like where they are and their weather and all that shit.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's like it's the experience of the MMO that I've never had before because I've never played MMOs prior to this one.
Yeah, you know, I've known you, I think, maybe for 4 or 5 years now, and I've never heard about you into an MMO like this, because I can't think of a big one that's come out in that amount of time.
Right, like, I feel like WoW just passed me by.
Yeah.
You know,
Did you ever...
I didn't. I just had shit computers
okay.
growing up. I
Yeah.
had e-machines.
Same, yeah. Same
Pre-bought garbage
Yeah.
that could never play anything.
Yeah.
And I didn't get my first gaming PC until I got my laptop in 2010. It died in like 2011.
Right.
So, and I was right as I was going to try Star Wars Old Republic.
Oh, okay.
MMO.
Gotcha. Which you probably would have gotten into.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. I could play it now. I own it.
Yeah.
But there's just no way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's just no way.
There's no time.
There's no time.
Yeah.
And ESO has totally captured me. And the thing I like about it too, it's kind of a lot of MMOs, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but they're like turn-based.
Yeah. So
there's fighting always happening, and then you click on your power and you go through your rotation on the top buttons. You're like, all right, I'm going to use this one, heal, use this one, and it's like you're not really like doing.
They're just kind of doing it in that sequence.
It's kind of like the original Knights of the Old Republic games, which they did a good job. They were turn-based, but they do a pretty good job of kind of hiding it.
Okay.
You know, so like when you play Knights of the Old Republic, and this is going to be a good segue here. You play Knights of the Old Republic, you have like, you know, flurry or a critical hit or whatever, like the different names for different moves. And if you don't do anything, your guy will sit there and just do a basic default swing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then the robot or whoever you're fighting will shoot at you. And you're taking turns, but it's seamless. So you can't really, it just looks like a fight.
Gotcha.
And then you can give commands, you can stack them up. So then your guy will go this one, and then he'll do this one, and then he'll do this. And then you can stack them all up, and you can pause the game and move to your other party members and give them attacks. And
okay, cool.
So you can kind of, it's still strategy, but it looks a little less like old school JRPG turn-based, which is literal, like the camera moves to them and they just sit there until you give them a So it disguises that turn-based a little bit. So that's what like WoW and other games I think are kind of like. But this is not. It's
actual combat. It's Elder Scrolls.
Real time.
If you've played Oblivion or Skyrim, or not really Morrowind, because Morrowind's a little different.
Yeah, Morrowind is more old school.
They have like that D&D roll chance kind of thing.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it's like actual combat.
Yeah, it's actual combat, but I love the flexibility. I'm always experimenting with different stuff on my skill bars. Like, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this. Put this here, put that here. And I'm switching back and forth until I find that kind of synergy that works with all of your different skills, and I'm starting to get more powerful. So since I switched to PC, I had to restart everything.
Right. Yeah.
So my high elf, who I've been kind of the main one I've been playing, she's at like 43 now. So I'm almost at 50, and then I can start doing the champion point stuff.
Oh, cool.
I've never done.
Yeah.
The highest I've ever been was level 50 with my Xbox character.
Oh, didn't you hit 50 and then transition?
Yeah, I only hit 50 as just like I had to do it, you know. And then I remade the same character. I haven't played him much, but
okay, cool.
Because I still wanted to keep that character. So I'll play him later. But so it's cool. I'm always like, I follow some YouTube channels now that talk about like builds.
Oh, cool.
In ESO. Yeah. Some of them are a little over my head.
Yeah.
But some of the ones that I've subscribed to are more like these are the ones that you want to like try this. This attack does this, and if you put it together with these two,
has that been like beneficial to you?
I haven't played enough of any other characters to like go and try these things. but they help me understand how the game works more. Cool. Like, oh, okay, so I need to look out for those things where, like, you know, if I get a critical hit, then I can use this power. Like, remembering how the things work. Yeah. And so it works as like kind of like inspiration. Right. And just gives me more contextual knowledge of how the game builds work. Yeah. My guide for Morrowind, the ESO Morrowind, the collector's guide I got back when it came out last year, has a bunch of pre-built builds for you to look at in there. So I like to look at those a lot. Because the game is just so flexible with. Oh yeah, I mean, there's so many different like it's so cool variations of different classes you can make and everything. So. Yeah, and pretty much every time you hit 50, you respec everything. Because there's times where you're experimenting and you don't need a bunch of skills that you never use that you purchased because you thought you might use them to see how they work. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now you have these wasted skills that you don't have on your bar. Well, get those back and put them somewhere else or save them. And just buff your other abilities and stuff like that. Yeah. Exactly. So I'll respec and all that. And then once I do that, like I don't know when I don't know if I'll hit 50 this week or not. But you know, it'll allow me to start playing other characters. And then Somerset comes out next week. So whew. I'll be playing that nonstop. That's gonna be my game. I can't wait. That's awesome, man. The only other thing I'm playing, which was the segue I was talking about earlier, is now that it's backwards compatible, and Alyssa and I played the original Knights of the Old Republic together because I wanted her to see that game. Okay. We're playing the second one. Yeah, and you said you had never gotten through it, right? So, so like I played it back when it came out, like 2004 or 5 or some shit. I played it when it came out. And it was so weird because I got all the way through the game, but I didn't know what I was doing. It's so weird when you go back and you play these games now, how much I didn't understand about the gaming, like the mechanics or how things work. Yeah. Or even the dialogue and stuff. Yeah. You know, it just goes over your head when you're in 7th, 8th grade. Oh, yeah, like, for sure. So it's cool to play it again because somehow I managed to get through the whole game being a good person, like light side. But I still somehow like chose the wrong dialogue options at a few key points, and I was evil, even though my light side bar was all the way to the top. Okay. And I didn't understand the ending, and I was like, I don't get this, and then I just stopped playing it. I don't. At the very, very, very end of the game. So now that I know what the hell I'm doing, I'm actually pretty excited. It's really good. It's one of those games where it's like same with the original KOTOR. You're like, oh, this is kind of old when you start playing it. Yeah. 30 minutes in, I don't even think about it. It doesn't bother you at all? No. That's crazy. And it usually does. Yeah. I'm not like a guy who's like constantly going back and playing older games. And like, hell no. Yeah. Yeah. Hell no. That's crazy. But it's so good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I love the dialogue is really good. The music's good. The story there's a big mystery with the second one is weird. It's really mysterious and kind of creepy in a lot of ways that the first one felt very traditional Star Wars. It was like, this is Star Wars, and they've gotten closer to nailing the Star Wars feel without it being the original 3 movies more than any Disney movie has so far. And the second one does not feel that way. It's very dark, very like, it feels a lot like Empire Strikes Back. Like, it's just super mysterious, and you're like, things just aren't going the way that you expect them at all, you know, story-wise. Yeah. And you just don't know what the heck's going on, which is really cool. So you're kind of like less in control? Like in the first one, did the decisions you made impact how things played out? Oh yeah, you still have those moments, but just like in the opening hours of the second game, okay, gotcha. It's just like you don't, like your character wasn't around for the events of the first game, so you're like trying to like piece together what you wake up in a place you don't know why you're there, so you're trying to figure out how you got to where you were. It's just like kind of discombobulating on purpose, you know. Okay. I just forgot how good the story was in the second game. Yeah. And it's got some really like iconic villains. Like if I showed you a picture, you'd be like, yeah, I think I've seen that somewhere. You know, like you know what I mean? Yeah. Just like one of those things where the villains are super iconic. Their look, at least, is. So it's cool to jump back in and play an old game like that. Very nostalgia. Yeah. That's it though. I mean, Total War a little bit, but mainly just for the recordings and stuff. Oh, cool. I haven't like played a lot on my own free time because ESO grabbed me again. Right. Yep. Over last weekend or over last week. So. Yep. Just with the guild stuff going on and then the new chapter coming out, I've been getting ready, and so that's it, man. That's what I've been playing this week. Cool. Much as ESO. Real quick, speaking of recording, trying to build up the hype. The highlight videos are coming back. Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you about that actually. There was a weird hiatus because we were playing other like a bunch of different games. I know what you're thinking.
you never play any other games. And we did, though. They were Battle Royale games, of course.
Yeah, you're playing different... You're branching out a little bit.
Yeah, so what happened was I never had enough footage from one game to make a game-specific YouTube video. Okay. And then I kind of fell out of... I stopped taking notes when we were playing and stuff would happen. And so I'm getting back into it now. I'm putting one together now, and then probably next weekend it'll be going up. So we'll be good to go.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah. I can't wait to see those again.
I kept thinking about it, and I was like, editing doesn't sound fun right now. Because it never sounds fun until you're doing it.
Until you do it. I totally agree.
Yeah. And, no, when you get into it, though, when you start doing it, it's so relaxing to me to just hang back. I put music on, I just hang out, and I do it. I go back. And then I rewatch these ridiculous moments that we have on stream, and they make me laugh, and I'm like having a great time. And then
when the final product is cool to go onto YouTube and hit play on your video.
It's crazy.
I've definitely done that.
It's crazy, yeah. It's so much fun. But yeah, that'll be coming back, so keep an eye out for that.
Cool. And today's Sunday, as we've said already.
I think, yeah.
So remember last week when I said I'd have my God of War review today?
Oh, hey, Ian.
Remember
that? How's that?
So that was before Alyssa got violently ill for a couple of days, and I missed a couple of days of work.
That's fair.
And I had time.
Yeah.
I did have time. This weekend, I definitely could have written the review like Friday or Saturday night.
Okay.
But this week, that week was such a disaster. I was like getting back to work on Wednesday and having 79 emails and stuff. I was just so stressed out. Like when I got home, I just wanted to just unplug for this weekend. So some crazy events delayed it, but it will be done soon.
Gotcha. We're holding you to it.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that at all. Like it's gonna get done. I can't wait to do it.
I don't know what your writing process is like for the reviews, but do you have like kind of your notes, if you will, of what you're gonna write? Do you have an idea?
Sometimes it depends. So usually what ends up happening is like I create notes in my head. I'll create notes, like I'll put like an outline out or whatever. But then usually the last couple I've done were like it would be like 11 o'clock at night on a Friday. And I'd be like, fuck it, I'm just going to write it.
Yeah.
And I would just write it.
Because it's right there.
We'll just do the whole thing. I just never had that this weekend.
Yeah.
Because I was just so mentally exhausted after this crazy week.
Yeah. It was interesting when we had Ryan Winslet on of Cinema Blend.
Yeah.
And I think we asked him what his kind of writing process was like. And he talked about how he plays the game. And when things happen, he kind of writes them down. And he goes back and looks at his notes. And maybe goes through and kind of organizes and pieces together. And then he kind of does that very thing. He just goes after it and refers to his notes if he needs to. But it's interesting for a guy who writes for a living. It's really interesting to hear about.
Yeah, it was. It would be very interesting to do that with time crunch. I don't have much of a time crunch. I mean, I have. It's in the back of my mind.
You have like a moral time.
Yeah, like I definitely want to get this out.
Yeah,
but like to actually be like, look, you got to get this done.
Yeah,
if you're gonna get paid.
Yeah.
Like, okay. In that case, I probably would have done it this weekend.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't feel good.
Yeah, you would. I mean, once you started writing it, I guarantee it would have been like, oh, okay, here we go.
Here we
the
go.
Momentum would have kicked in.
I just never had that like initial spark of like, usually I just need to know how I want to open it. Mm-hmm. The opening is the hardest part. Because once I'm past the opening, then I can just talk about the game.
Yeah.
And then the closing, I just tell you is a summary.
You just have to get the momentum going.
It's that first like intro paragraph. It's like, how do I want to... How do I want to do this? How do I want to broach the subject, if you will? Yeah,
I've never been great at writing, but any situation where I've had to do it, I always refer back to like my 8th grade English class where I was like, how do you begin a thing?
Yeah.
There's an anecdote, I think. Let's try an anecdote. Once upon a time, and then I kind of like go...
Anecdotes work.
Yeah.
Very effectively.
Yeah. And eventually I go back and I read it and kind of piece it together from there.
Cool. Yeah, it's a fun process, so we'll have that up shortly, I promise. I'm going to have time this week to do it. I might even start this tonight if I don't get sucked into ESO.
If.
We've got some news this week.
Yeah.
A couple news things.
Meaning two.
Which of the two would you like to go over first?
Let's talk about Days Gone.
Days
Gone.
So really the first like footage outside of a short E3 demo. A lot of footage.
Yeah.
And a Game Informer's covering the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's the cover for next month's. Or I guess this month's. Is it May? Is it June? It might be June's cover? I don't fucking know. Whatever it is. The upcoming Game Informer magazine, it is going to be Days Gone. Wow, Kevin is playing the Elder Scrolls Online. Are you serious?
Wait, hello? What? Our Kevin?
Steam just popped up with a notification saying that Kevin is playing Elder Scrolls Online.
Is he okay? Should we...
What the...
Did I get it?
What the hell?
But is he all right? I don't have any texts. Maybe.
So what's he doing?
I wonder if he's dying.
Do you think he like?
And he's like, before I go, I must make Ian proud, and then just dived in.
So like he's gonna like. So you know what we're gonna have to do, even though it won't work. Cause never mind, you can't do that in ESO. I was gonna say you can do it in Skyrim on your own like save file or whatever. But like we'd have to like go get a bunch of like candles and flowers in game, like drop him on the spot where he died. He was.
You're like, what the hell? He
was standing on the coasts of Morrowind,
and he just died.
And he just died in his chair.
Just fell over.
So I'm gonna have to ask. I have to follow up with Kevin here. Sorry, that was a little bit surprising.
We just barrage him with messages right now.
Just call him on,
right when he jumped in.
Kevin,
are you playing
ESO,
Can
bro?
you confirm live on the podcast? Well, now you people know.
All right. So Days Gone.
Days Gone. Game Informer.
So this is a game that you and I have been, I don't want to say hard on,
no,
but not super pumped for.
I would say curious about. You know
curious,
what I mean?
but then also like I remember it went from curiosity to that last one being, I was a little underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I wasn't excited. When I saw it, I was like,
maybe like skepticism is a better word. Yeah.
Cautious, sort of like.
Cautious. Okay, that's the best word for it for sure. Yeah, because we kept kind of maybe pointing out things that they were doing, which we had seen in other games. But I remember talking about it like, well, it's not bad that they're doing these things because if it's not broke, don't fix it. But then what do you have that's yours? You know, when
I say like, you definitely please steal things from games, I don't mean like everything.
Yeah, we didn't mean
like copy it and just put it in a different setting. Like
if you're listening,
Now, so now that we've listened to that podcast. Game Informer Podcast.
Referring to, is it called the Game Informer Podcast?
Yep.
I thought it was something show. Is it not the Game Informer
It's the Game Informer Show, I guess.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I guess it is the Game Informer Show. We've listened to that, and we've watched the first, 15 minutes of an hour-long gameplay.
Yep.
How do you feel now?
I feel more optimistic than I was before.
Okay.
Because listening to the Game Informer Show cast pod, I know that these are guys who know what they're talking about, given the platform that they were given to, voice this information. They were all really, surprisingly to me, pleased with what they got to play.
Yeah, I think they were surprised a little too.
They seemed like it. Yeah, it was. Everyone kept going, wow, and this was another really cool thing, and pointing out stuff about the game that maybe wasn't expected before, or maybe just kind of came out of left field.
Right.
As an example, they talked about how, if you've watched the trailer, you've seen Boozer, who's kind of like your brother in the game in a way.
Yeah.
They talk about how there's 19 other characters who are supposed to be just as important in the game, which is really interesting. They brought up a lot of good points. But to answer your question, I'm optimistic now.
Yeah.
More so than before, for sure. What about you? Yeah, still kind of shaking my head, huh?
I feel like it reminds me a lot of. Did you ever play any or see any of the Mad Max game that came out?
I saw it. I never played it.
I don't know. It just looks a little like it's an open world, and you get on your bike and you drive around the open world, and there's the tracking thing from Batman.
Where you watch the thing actually happen.
The screen changes, and it's like shows where they go.
Glow blue. I did have one.
There's nothing I'm seeing that's like. This looks like it's a unified.
Yeah.
This is like a vision. It doesn't look like a vision to me. It looks like, hey, that part of that game was cool. This part of this game is cool. It looks like a lot of other games that I've already played.
Yeah,
and this is super early.
Yeah, really early. What we watched was alpha. Gameplay. There was a lot of frame dipping, which you talked about. But again,
I didn't even think that's
going to come. Yeah. Especially in alpha. One thing. Maybe just as an example, I've always talked about how if you're going to do a thing, I don't know, just do whatever you're trying to do well, whether it be good or bad technically. If you're trying to do that thing, just make sure you're doing it well. There's a point in the gameplay footage where you're on the bike right at the beginning, and you're kind of going around, and there's jumps everywhere. But you don't, and even the guy's talking, and forgive me, I forget the writer's name when he's talking, but he was like, but it's realistic, you can't do backflips, and the guy was promises you can't land a front flip, and it was kind of a joke.
Yeah,
he's like, you can't do that. So my question is, why are there jumps everywhere?
Yeah, it seems kind of dumb.
It seems kind of dumb.
Why would if you're chasing a guy and you're driving down the road and you're like, all right, there's a really dangerous jump. I don't know where it lands.
Or
just a very straight path. If I'm playing that, I'm skipping all the jumps.
Because there's no...
And according to the podcast, the jumps can hurt your bike.
Yeah, your bike takes damage.
Yeah, which actually, that was the one thing I really liked. Your bike is an actual thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you crash your bike in the woods and run off and do stuff, your bike stays in the woods.
Yeah.
There's no calling.
Yeah, the example,
there's no whistling.
You couldn't whistle
horse,
for your bike,
right?
yeah. Well, which is really interesting.
I like that you have to have a thing to take care of. I think that's a grounding thing, and that is unique. I don't know of any other game. And you can upgrade it, so it's a huge... Maybe it's... I guess it's, again, kind of like Mad Max.
Yeah.
You get a car in the very beginning, and it's your car.
Yeah.
And you upgrade it. You build this master vehicle. I didn't get that far in the game, but like...
Which I'm all for.
Yeah.
You know, he brought about, you know, the upgrades for the bike. He talked about how aren't going to make it like some crazy super bike, which you're flying around. But then he talked about how you can get nitrous on your bike. And if I'm off-roading on a motorcycle that's not made to be off-roaded on, I'm not going to use nitrous. I feel like, you know, that's...
Yeah, nitrous.
No, why though? I'm not going to go off a jump. The jump didn't appear to provide any kind of benefit.
No,
you didn't like
a really
speed
hard
up
landing
when you hit the ground.
Yeah.
It just would damage your bike. Maybe there's some kind of achievement to hit every jump, but
maybe
it seems
feels
like
fun.
Yeah, but you can't do a flip. Because
Yeah.
the point is to not seem goofy. But then why would he would never go off a jump?
Yeah, exactly. They like want it to be realistic and like, you know, this guy.
Yeah.
This is all about like these characters.
Yeah.
And then he's like fucking jumping off of these weird ramps that are just all over the world. It just seems like a conflict of...
Exactly. Yeah, they're trying to like meet in the middle of a thing where you need to pick a side.
Yeah.
That was kind of one thing that stood out to me. I don't know.
Another thing for me, and this could be an alpha thing,
Mm-hmm.
so I won't totally hold it against them until I see it. But after playing God of War, really harsh cut to black cuts from cutscene to gameplay just seem just awful.
I feel like your bar is going to be like crazy high now. Like
it's not my bar.
No, it's no.
That's the bar.
You
now.
just got off of the high of God of War. Yeah, I think you're right.
I say it the same way about Witcher. After Witcher came out, it's like, look, if you're going to make an open world RPG now, good fucking luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because you should be compared to the best out there.
Yeah. This
is a third-person narrative action game with light RPG elements. This is God of War.
Yeah. Yeah, by definition.
I am going to judge you against the best in the class.
That's fair. No, it's totally fair.
And that is so jarring now.
Really?
Well, yeah, you didn't feel that like when they're running up and you're running up and you see a guy shoots at you and then the screen goes black for like one whole second.
Yeah.
And then it comes back up real slow.
And you're running
and it's a video now.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, and then they take cover. I'm like, that happened like 5 seconds ago. It's just this really hard cut.
I guess it didn't stand out to me because I haven't been exposed to as much God of War, obviously. But yeah, that probably would have been like, wait, what? Wait, why are we still doing that?
So janky.
Still doing that?
So that could be though. It really could be. They haven't nailed the transitions yet.
Maybe.
So they're just putting in the pauses until they figure that out. So I don't want to be overly critical there because that might not be. But if that's in the final game, that feels like original Xbox.
Yeah,
I was playing KOTOR just earlier before you came here, and it like you'll walk into a room and the screen cuts black, and then you're in a movie.
You come to and
it's the graphics are better.
It's so much better, and the voiceover and everything.
Yeah.
And it might have just been, I don't know if it was a joke. So the Game Informer representative who was interviewing, I think it was 2 guys, right, when they were playing the game, one of which was playing the game.
Right.
And he asked how many writers there were in the game, and he jokingly kind of said only 1, and that's me. Yeah. I don't know if he was kidding or not.
I don't think so.
Does that? I don't know.
I mean, Last of Us only had 2 writers.
Yeah.
And Uncharted only had 1 writer.
So
all the Uncharted games.
So for gaming, that's pretty standard.
I think
right?
for a game like this, that's very specific.
Yeah.
Whereas like Elder Scrolls. Multiple writers because there's hundreds of quests.
Yeah.
The player can go anywhere. Or Witcher. You don't want to feel like with a lot of games that maybe they only did have 1 writer with games like that. Witcher, Elder Scrolls, the character has control of where they go. You don't want the character to turn left and have a bunch of bullshit. Terrible.
Right.
And then if they had gone right, they would have had one of the greatest experiences because the one writer was like ran out of time and like, oh, I don't know. So for a game like those big open world games, it makes sense that they have multiple writers that are working on creating a very like consistent feel.
Yeah, I guess like in my uninformed brain, when I think of writers on a project, I guess I compare it to like sitcom or like a late night show where you have like a room of guys who are like, okay, well, should we do this? And everyone kind of bounces their
No,
opinion
I think
off of each
movies
other.
and games are movies usually have one script writer.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same for most games.
Okay.
At least games of this nature.
Because it's that person's idea that they're kind
Right.
of trying to play out. Yeah,
Yeah,
makes sense.
and if you can script it,
Mhm.
so like God of War, yeah, sure, there's some like left turns you can take that'll get you a little bit of like contextual dialogue and some extra treasure. But the main story is the main story
Right,
is
yeah.
the main story. You know what I mean?
Start
And
to
it was
finish,
written. It
you're
was
gonna-
written by
yeah.
one person.
Gotcha.
I think it was Corey Barlog who directed it and wrote it.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So so it's more like a movie, like a screenplay.
Yeah, so that was one concern of mine that is no longer a concern. So I'm good to go there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm certainly basically right now where I am at with this game is wait for reviews.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a day one for me.
No? Yeah.
Unless the reviews are amazing, I'll trust reviews.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I loved about God of War. Like, if PlayStation feels confident and they put reviews out for that game a week ahead of time,
Whew.
I trust Sony.
10s on 10s on 10s.
Right?
Everywhere. Yeah, that's fair, man. It's definitely fair.
I think they've earned that. So even if I'm not like totally in love with it, I mean Detroit comes out this month actually, so we'll see how reviews go for that.
This month?
Yeah, I think it's like the 20th or 25th or something.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
22nd, maybe.
Wow.
It's Tuesday the 22nd.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. So I don't know how that's gonna be. I really liked Heavy Rain, but I heard that the other one that he made was terrible. So Beyond Two Souls or whatever.
Yeah.
But
No, I
Detroit,
played Heavy Rain a long time ago.
right?
And it was kind of, at the time I was like, this isn't what I'm feeling right now. So
Sure.
I played a little bit of it and got out of it, but I get the idea. Yeah, so I wonder, I never played, what was it, Beyond 2?
Yeah, I didn't play that either because
Something.
it got like 6s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But the thing about Detroit is that they're saying that this is going to be one of the first games that's true player choice.
Okay.
You know, like the Telltale games are not. All the choices lead to the same destination.
Oh, really?
It's just window dressing,
Got-
which is fine. Those are great
Yeah,
experiences. I'm not
yeah.
even insulting that experience.
No.
But it's true. Like, if you kill this guy or spare this guy, you end up being attacked by this person either way
Yeah.
at the end of it.
Okay,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's like it doesn't really. It just gives it where you kind of express yourself.
This is more of a
This is
butterfly
like-
effect kind of situation.
There's like hundreds of endings.
Gotcha.
In fact, I was hearing podcasts about it, and they were asking the developers and the writers like how many endings there are, and they're like, I don't know,
What?
no idea.
So it's almost
and
like,
one of the guys was like, I think we have it on a spreadsheet we made like a year ago, but we just gave
oh
up
my
on it."
god. So it's almost like
So it's
procedurally
true.
kind of, yeah.
True, like
That's cool.
yeah, true
Remember
player choice.
Until Dawn? You played Until Dawn, right?
Yes,
On a much smaller scale, they had
Yes.
kind of that butterfly effect
Yep.
system. I wonder if they'll kind of play into something like that.
yeah,
It's
very
it's
well
always been
could,
interesting.
and I like it. It sort of reminds like the setting is sort of like I Am Robot.
Yeah, right.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
The sort of like androids that have these. The only thing I heard that was like negative about it is that some of it's like really on the nose.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like androids have to sit in the back of the bus. And,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like really
God.
like
Okay.
just not understanding
All right.
how to write with subtlety. And,
TOS, bro.
Yeah. So-
Right with-
So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes.
Okay, gotcha.
We've got one other piece of news
Cool.
for today. That news is related to probably the second best game publisher to Sony right now. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah, I would
I don't
agree.
know if there's a game that comes out that I want to play. If it's not by Sony, a Sony first party studio, probably want it published by Bethesda.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Personally.
I agree with you. I agree. I'm just sorry, in my head I'm trying to think maybe of another kind of devil's advocate.
Well, yeah, no,
kinda
sure.
answer to that, but no, no argument, man. I have no argument for you.
What is with
Why?
this monitor?
Dude, the
This
magic
monitor!
punch. The magic monitor.
This fucking monitor right now. So we're talking about Bethesda published games, and more specifically, we're going to be talking about a game that id made a while back. And what pops up on my fucking monitor? Doom
Doom.
2016.
This is weird. I don't like this.
Another game that you really got to fucking play.
I really probably should play, yeah.
But you won't.
Ouch.
So episode
Get the knife
number
out.
58.
Episode 59. I played PUBG and
I played PUBG and Fortnite.
And that was it.
And there was a new Fortnite update.
There was a new Fortnite
This
update.
time, because
Yeah.
the PUBG update last time. No, but so back before Doom, I think it was like 2009 is when Rage came out.
Rage.
Not very good.
I never played it.
Gameplay amazing.
Really?
First person shoot, like just shooting shit,
Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Boring as all hell, though.
Really?
No story, no characters, empty world, full of errands.
Gotcha.
Just boring. But God, was it just fun to play.
I never played it. Is it an open world game?
Yeah, it's first person, open world, where you basically you walk up to them, like you click A and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing, partner?" And then they're just like text boxes, and then you like accept the mission, you go down there, you kill everything down there, and then you come back.
Gotcha.
You get in your little vehicle, and there's nothing going on in the world. You drive to the next point, and that's just what you do.
Do it again.
It was not good.
Gotcha.
It wasn't fun, even though the gameplay was spectacular. Like, it has always just been, their shooting is just, it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of their thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the reason we're talking about Rage, and this might not even be Rage, but we all feel pretty confident. Bethesda has been dropping, actually, let's go back a little further. Walmart of Canada department.
Shout out to Canadian Walmart.
Their website put up an image for pre-orders that was an image of an Xbox One case. It was black, no art, no key art or anything.
Right.
And it said in like Times New Roman font.
Got it.
It just said Rage 2. Like someone just typed it on Rage.
Right. They're like, fill it in. We don't have a picture yet.
Available for pre-order.
Interesting.
Which then prompted Rage Twitter account, which hadn't had a tweet in years.
For years, yeah.
Because that game was thought dead.
Because why?
It wasn't very good.
Right.
And then it went through near self-destruction, almost closed down because they couldn't figure out Doom 4 because they made it Call of Doom.
Yep, Call of Doom.
And then re-scrapped the whole thing, rebuilt it, released Doom in 2016, saved it from closure, and put them on the map as one of the best first-person shooter devs out there right now.
Yeah.
We don't know what they're doing since Doom. There hasn't been any real DLC other than multiplayer, and they didn't make the multiplayer.
Right.
It's been 2 years now. And Rage Twitter account suddenly comes out of nowhere, and they put a funny tweet up there, which is like a directory, like a Windows directory, which is, it says like directory, apps, Rage launch trailer.
Monday.
Yeah. Announcing Monday or whatever, like these different folders. It was a joke. It was funny. But then since then, Bethesda's Twitter account keeps releasing these really weird pictures.
Yeah. Really weird pictures. They're all kind of like strange, like random set pieces, like of weird urban areas combined. There was like one of Tokyo, I think.
Yeah.
One in space.
Where they have pink. Yeah, it's like the one was Big Ben in London.
Yeah.
And it had pink paint smeared on the like the hour hands, or like just across the clock face. And it was, the hands were pointed to 514.
514. Another one with kind of a guy, kind of a rambly looking dude, and his teeth are all messed up. It just says 514
in
across
pink.
his teeth in pink. The rocket.
Rocket said 514 on the rocket.
Pink smoke.
Pink smoke with pink paint on it.
Trying to think of it. There was a taxi with a pink handprint on it with 14 in the palm, so 5 fingers.
5 fingers.
14.
Yeah. And then there was the other one, the guy with his, it showed his fingers. It said 514 on his fingers. Yeah. He's like looking down at the camera. And they just look like they look like dudes from Rage. Rage was sort of like this over the top, sort of Mad Max feel.
Yeah, that's what I was going to compare it to. Yeah.
And they look like they're from Rage. And the fact that Rage's Twitter account is even active at all,
kind of weird.
It makes everyone think it's basically Rage 2 is coming from it.
Huh.
With this team that made Doom 2016. Now, all of this is. Our audience is listening to this on Tuesday, which is going to be 5/15.
Oh.
So we want to know if we're right. I do think it's Rage 2. My question is, are they announcing this now because of the Canada leak?
Yeah. Maybe.
Because June 10th is E3 start date.
Yeah. Why
would you announce it now? Unless you're like, fuck. Walmart of Canada just leaked shit, and now it's just a matter of time before everything gets out, and E3 is ruined for Rage 2.
Damn it, Canadian Walmart. Yeah,
take advantage of it from a PR perspective. That's a really good
question, right? Because from a PR perspective, which one is more beneficial, right? You either build the hype, you let people kind of ponder for a month, what was, like, okay, what? And then maybe forget about it.
But what if other stuff comes out about it?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like
if you already had a leak, That's weird.
Yeah, I still don't get why you would show me on May 14th.
And I wonder if all the concept art coming out, if you call it that, it's kind of like photoshopped, like perfectly photoshopped pictures. If that's something they just kind of threw together to kind of push this, or if that was something they were going to use before, like it makes you wonder.
So I wonder if we're gonna get like a 10-second video that's like, shows like
pink
The
everywhere.
anarchist.
Oh yeah.
Say because that was Rage was R anarchist A G E is how the on the cover. Yeah. So like I wonder if it'll you know what I mean, one of those things this is like shows the anarchist sign coming out and then
the RGE will
and
kind
then
of
it
fill
says
in,
id and then it says E3.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To like let us know like all right, cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
We got some PR with our pictures. We're going to let you know, yes, we're working on Rage. Please come check out our show on June 10th to see the gameplay reveal or whatever.
So, when did Rage come out? The first
2009.
9, okay.
And then id went silent because they had their whole insanity with Doom.
Did Rage have any kind of following that you know of? Do you remember what the reviews were like at all?
The reviews were like 6s and 7s.
Okay.
7s. Yeah. I think it was probably like a 72 on Metacritic or something like that. Because the game was so solid.
Right, the shooting and
mechanically,
the mechanics,
but it was just so soulless.
Huh.
But I get it.
Yeah.
Like there's a space for that. I think that especially with this team. You know, Doom 2016 won over a lot of people.
Yeah.
It did really well. It won some Game of the Year awards and stuff. And I feel like people are just going to be like, yeah, I'll play anything you know what I mean? Like this is a premier AAA developer now.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, the company and the developer have kind of built their reputation a lot since Rage 1. So maybe, like you mentioned, this is kind of their opportunity to be like, hey, check this thing out that we did a while ago.
We have this IP. Like, why not use it? And Bethesda's so good about using IPs and bringing things back. I mean, the last few Wolfenstein games before Machine Games got on it were mediocre.
Yeah.
You know? There wasn't no one was like, oh man, I hope they make another Wolfenstein game.
Right.
But, but Machine Games had a great idea for how to treat Wolfenstein, and they convinced Bethesda publisher to do it. So it could be the same thing. Maybe there's just people at id were like, look, we have a great idea for this project. We think you'd love it. Check it out. And they showed the big hats at Bethesda, and they were like, yeah, this looks fucking awesome. Let's resurrect Rage.
Yeah. They
give their developers freedom like that.
Yeah. No, I wish I had more of a connection with the original games. So I had maybe more insight to it.
No one has a connection with it. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to connect with. It was fun. I'll show you like a quick highlight gameplay so you can kind of see what it was like. Gameplay was good. That's it.
I think I remember like a Game Informer article about it, maybe.
Yeah, it
forever
looked
ago.
amazing back then. It was probably like the best looking game on that generation.
Yeah, okay.
It's just that no one remembers it.
Sounds familiar, yeah. I mean, I definitely remember the name. I've heard about it. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing it in a Game Informer at one point, but I never played it. I never knew anyone who played it. So I mean, that tells you maybe how the reach was at that.
Right?
But, but
it didn't do so well. Yeah. So that's it. That's our episode for this week. It's been an hour already.
Are we at an hour?
Yeah, hour 2.
I can't see the timer. So I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see anything. But...
So I guess if all this shit comes out on 5/14, let's see if we were right. I'm saying it's Rage 2. I think that's not even really a guess. Like,
I'm not sure.
I'm going to put my reputation on the line for this one.
Breaking news: Ian of ZeroHP speculates that didn't the article we read on was it Game Informer that we were actually reading that on before we started the podcast?
IGN.
Okay, it mentioned that the pink was actually alluding. Didn't they use something for the pink for a thing in the original game?
No, they were saying that the new picture for the Rage Twitter account had pink A.
Gotcha.
And it was the same shade of pink.
So yeah.
And it looked spray painted, and all this stuff is painted.
I would say
I think it's pretty obvious.
Pretty good guess. That
which is exciting because I was so sold on that last Doom that if that team wants to make an open world, beautiful, post-apocalyptic game, I'll trust them.
That plays the way they do. I mean,
that plays the way they do, and hopefully Doom had a better story than I expected. It didn't even need it.
Yeah, it didn't need it.
But it did though, because Rage had good gameplay too, but it was not fun.
Fair.
It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun at all. Yeah. So cool. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Comment below as to whether or not you're excited about what we saw on 5/14. We don't know yet because it's 5/13 today.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll find out. Maybe we can watch that like while you're at home, we can
let's do it.
We can
follow
up on it.
If it's something crazy, we can do an impromptu recording.
Yeah,
if we need to, and I'll come back into the workshop here, and we'll throw something together and get it recorded. And that'd be cool, man.
So we'll see when they do that. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.
Yeah, good luck.
And we'll see you next time.
Hopefully recording on a Friday.
Yes.
Later.
Later.